Hi, it's thefatrat.com here, and I'm going to be taking you through the extremely disappointing 5-1 loss to Liverpool. I'm going to be taking you through things like the ratings and individual performances and what Wenger said on the defeat. So, if you want to go to my website, it's thefatrat.com here, as you can see, and I post all kinds of things like highlights, um, previews, after reports, and also transfer rumors, as you can see here. Um, and I hope that you can subscribe to it and also check it out. Anyway, so moving on to the ratings, as you can see, I have the ratings here in the circle. So we're gonna start off in goal with Chesney. Chesney was really solid at the in goal for us. He made a few saves, but we just got very unlucky with Raheem Sterling's last goal. He made a great save, but it rebounded to Raheem Sterling, who scored. He'll probably be low on confidence after 5 goals went past him, but he really shouldn't be because it was a decent display from Chesney. Onto the left back situation, and I just really don't understand Wenger here. Why would he start Monreal instead of Gibbs? I mean, Kieran Gibbs is just a much better player, and Monreal's been in horrific form recently, and he was to blame for I believe 2 goals or one of the goals today, and he was just played so badly and was therefore substituted off at the 58th minute. Wenger needs to start Gibbs against Manu because Monreal is just lower than par and he's not playing up to scratch, and you can't have a player like that letting the team down. Mertesacker and Koscielny were two different types of players today. Koscielny was handled Suarez in an efficient way, where Mertesacker had Sturge. I think that this would have been a brilliant game to have Vermaelen playing, because Vermaelen against Sturge would have been better than Mertesacker against Sturge. Sturge and Suarez just and even Raheem Sterling just obliterated Mertesacker and blitzed him with his pace, and therefore that's why he got the lower rating Koscielny, because Koscielny could keep up to them. He was just unlucky that he's really like 1-on-2 or 2-on-1, I guess, with the one being Koscielny, where Mertesacker was just too slow for the game. But not to blame him, he should bounce back against the likes of Van Persie and Rooney, even though they're quite good, on I believe Wednesday night. So onto the right back situation, and Bashir Sanya, he played okay. He didn't really do anything. He didn't make that many mistakes. It's just to concede so many goals and to play. I mean, the problem with him was that he let Raheem Sterling behind him too many times. But he didn't really do that many bad things in the match. So he'll be fine. Next is Mikel Arteta, who I thought was one of the worst performers in the team. His passing was horrific. He couldn't get a touch of the ball really. He couldn't really play, and he didn't show his potential that he showed last year, and he was just awful. We really do miss Flamini, but Flamini will be back for next match, and he should start against Manu. Arteta was just awful today, and many stray passes and many of his stray passes led to chances. Actually, I believe one of them led to a goal. Next is Wilshere, the returning Jack Wilshere. Great game from Wilshere, typical game really. Surging runs, got into a little bit of a scuffle with Coutinho and Ali Sissoko. He was just a driving force in the field, and he really showed how much we missed him. It's a great performance from him. Next is Santi Cazorla. Santi Cazorla, he didn't really make anything happen. He had one free kick that was deflected, but it was looking like it was about to go in. He didn't really do anything. He was very quiet. It didn't seem like he made too many mistakes, but he's been awful in recent weeks, besides his goal-scoring form, which has been very, very good. But he will need to pick up his performance, and so will the guy next to him, Mesut Ozil. Well, Mesut Ozil, he really, really needs to pick up his game after signing for 42 million. He shouldn't be able to come into this club and expect everyone, expect him to start every single match, because Arsenal is bigger than his name, and he needs to pick up his performances. Wenger needs, I think Wenger needs to drop Ozil for the next match because he's just not showing his potential. And when we have the likes of Gnabry not starting, or Podolski, for that matter, or even Rosicky, you kind of wonder why Ozil's playing. I think that Kurzawa could be pushed back in the middle for the Man U match, which would be very, very effective, and then Ozil could come on as a sub maybe, or be rested for the Bayern game or the next Liverpool game on Sunday. He wasn't very good, and he wasn't up to scratch today, as I said before. Next was the man of the match by far, Oxlade-Chamberlain. I mean, he really ran the show today. He won the penalty for Arsenal. He was the only real bright spot beside Jack Wilshere in the squad. He was on top of Sissoko, making surging runs from minute one, and he was just pure class today. And it was like a replicated performance from the Crystal Palace match, just transferred onto the wing. Very bright display, as I said before, and remember he burst onto the scene against Man U at home at the Emirates 2 years ago. So maybe he can put another performance there for us that will surely boost our title hopes, and maybe put us back to the top of the table, even though that Chelsea won 3-0. Although Man City were halted by North City side, so 0-0. Olivier Giroud, another just pathetic. It was really quite a pathetic performance from Olivier Giroud. He didn't make anything happen. I mean, yes, he didn't have many chances, but when he did get the ball, he basically did nothing with it. I mean, it was hectic with him. He's got to pick up his game, and especially for this Man U game. I mean, it was just awful on the ball, and he's got to pick it up. So moving on to what Wenger said about the Liverpool match, he kind of summed up what I was trying to get at, saying, overall performance just wasn't really good. We didn't respond at all to the goals, and it was just poor from Arsenal. I think that what he's saying is true. Also, he said that we need to respond well on Wednesday night, and he's taken all the blame for this performance, which is quite manly of him. He always normally does that, and fair of him. I set Arsenal goal to win one of these matches, to take 3 points from these two Premier League matches this week, Liverpool and Man U, and to win on Sunday. But after this loss against Liverpool, this horrible loss, we must win both of those games, especially because this is the most pivotal moment in the season. Really, we have this February and January and even March part of the season is just it's so key for Arsenal doing well in competitions, especially because we have the Champions League, the FA Cup, and the Premier League all up for grabs. But of course, these hopes will be boosted with the return of Jack Wilshere and Matthew Flamini, who should, I think, personally, should start against Man U on Wednesday night. Those two have been absolutely phenomenal for Arsenal this season, especially today with Wilshere was one of our brighter performers. Chambo should start on the right. Anyway, we'll talk about that later, but anyway, thanks so much for listening to this. I hope that you share, like, subscribe, comment, everything about this. And also be sure to check out my website here, thethatred.com. It would be really appreciated. Subscribe. You can subscribe to it as well. I have everything that you want to know in here, kind of. And I'll try to post regularly. But anyway, thank you so much for all of this, and we've got to improve. We really do have to improve Arsenal. But anyway, once a Gooner, always a Gooner. Signing off. Thanks. It's the Fat Red.